Harvey Deutschendorf. I'm an emotional intelligence specialist, and today I want to talk to you about road rage. It seems like every day we hear or read about another incident of road rage. It's become so common now that we hardly pay attention to it. Have you ever wondered why people get so emotionally carried away that they do things that they may regret for the rest of their lives? Why is it that people act out in act of rage, seemingly totally out of control, normally intelligent people? Have you ever wondered if there's anything we can do about that, if there's any way we can stop road rage? Well, there is. It's actually quite a simple fix, and I'll get to that in a bit. Have you ever found yourself getting upset about the way people drive? Have you found yourself shouting or blowing your horn? Have you found yourself shouting or making rude gestures at other drivers? If you have, you're not alone. I used to struggle with road rage. Last summer, I was driving. It was in the city. It was nice weather. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon before rush hour. I was in the right lane. It was a 3-lane road. And all of a sudden, a driver pulled in front of me. I had to actually slam on the brakes. Immediately, I got upset, and I wanted to use both of my hands. One for the horn, and the other one, well, you know what for. But when that happens, I've taught myself a simple technique that I use. I started counting to 10. As I got to about 6, I was starting to, my urge to react the way I initially was going down. I started to get curious. I was starting to wonder why this man had cut me off. What I told myself initially was that, he just decided at the last minute he wanted to make a right turn. And instead of going around the block and, inconveniencing himself, he would risk an accident and cut off a whole lane of traffic. Then when I was thinking about this, I heard it, the siren. It was coming down the lane that he just pulled out of. Can you imagine how it would have felt if I'd given in to my first reaction? The story that I told myself was totally false. Studies have shown that 80% of American drivers are involved in an incident that would be considered road rage in 1 year. That's 8 out of 10. Think about that. Road rage is a global problem, and it's getting worse every year. It's a senseless act. People are killed, they're injured, property is destroyed. We're all vulnerable, and it can be prevented. I'll show you in a minute what actually happens in our brain when road rage occurs. But if you could learn a simple technique, one that you could use every time you had the urge to react from your emotions, and just practice that technique, would help you overcome the possibility that you would do something that could have consequences and that you could regret for the rest of your life. Would you do it? Just a simple technique. Okay. I'll show you now in the brain exactly what happens when we experience road rage. This is a cutoff of our of our brain. Now, this part here, bottom, is our brainstem. It's our primitive brain, and we've had that since we lived in caves. And we really needed that at the time because it gave us fast messages, whether or not we fight or flight response, whether or not we're in danger. They're saber-toothed tigers and things like that could kill us. We had to make decisions in a real hurry. We don't need that brain much anymore. We don't use it, but it's still with us, and it can cause us serious problems. This part here at the front, the wrinkled part, that's our neocortex. That's our powerful thinking brain. Okay. What happens is that also our primitive brain is also called our emotional brain. So when a message comes in, we feel before we think. That's important to know. We feel before we think. So message comes in and it lands right here. There's a little almond-shaped section just on top of our brainstem called the amygdala. The message comes into the amygdala. So we feel. It's also, we feel, it's our emotional brain. We feel it, okay? It takes approximately 6 seconds or so for that message to reach our powerful thinking brain. And during those 6 seconds is when we're in danger. Okay, things could go off the rails. That's what happens in road rage. So we haven't had a chance to really think things through. We act strictly from our emotions. So what we need to do is distract ourselves long enough so that message can get to our thinking brain, so we can respond with our powerful thoughts instead of reacting from our emotions. For me, counting to 10 works. For you, it could be something else. It could be maybe snapping an elastic on your wrist, listening to a funny song, a funny saying, whatever works to get yourself distracted. Use that. Practice it when you find yourself getting upset about, out in traffic or any other time. Practice that till you have it down, till if a situation comes up where you're starting to lose, you start losing control because your emotions are in charge of you. Use that to distract yourself. Hope that helps, and give yourself the best opportunity out there to make your time that you're driving safe for yourself and everyone else out there. Thank you.